Hello, I'm here with Helen Wise, who is the Assistant Principal at Lake Windemere Primary School, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Children's University Australia here at Lake Windermere. So Helen, can you tell us, first of all, how long has the school been involved with Children's
Sally,
University?
it's wonderful having you here today at Lake Windermere. It's a really exciting place to be working, and Children's University has been operating here for 5 years. This is our 5th year that we'll have children graduating, so we're very, very busy and active around Children's University.
And what was the reason, what was the reason that the school got involved in the programme in the initial stages?
Well, we're a Category 2 school. We have a lot of children who suffer trauma, a lot of family breakdowns, many children on school card. We've got a high percentage, probably 60 children who are Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders. We have lots of African families who've done it tough. So Children's University is a way of getting kids engaged in their learning and also giving them the option that they can go further on in their education, because many of the families here are in a poverty cycle and haven't had the opportunity to attend a university. So it's really getting kids wanting to do something with their future education.
So could you just tell us a little bit about how you actually organise the programme here at Lake Windermere?
Well, that has been a learning curve, a ginormous learning curve, because initially I was asked by my principal would I be interested in taking on the job of coordinator here at the school. So nobody knew anything about that. So as a person in a leadership position, I've had the opportunity and time to dedicate towards getting things in operation here. So it's a matter of getting your staff on board. We have a huge staff here of approximately 90, including SSOs, teachers and other support staff. And it started off very small, where I was able to say to a couple of teachers, would you be interested in doing some lunchtime activities for kids for Children's University? They offer what they're good at. So originally it was Sherry, who's one of our Year 3 teachers, offered to do some jewellery making. So it was as simple as that. I was able to relieve her of a lunchtime duty, and she took that Children's University on as a duty, and it snowballed from there. Now I have teachers knocking on my door asking, what can we do, Helen? And we cash in on their talents. We've got teachers who are talented musicians and songwriters, and they lead kids in so many different directions. It's amazing.
So all of these activities that the students are able to attend, they happen when in school, within your school day. When do they actually happen?
Yes, they operate at what we call big lunch time, which happens from 11:10 to 11:50 daily. So most days of the week there are activities for children to do, and they vary enormously. Some teachers offer things for 6 weeks, some offer them for the whole term. It just depends on what the teacher's interests are.
And you said that you were able to do, if you like, a trade-off for your staff.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the trade-off to staff, because every staff member here at Lake Windermere has to do a 20-minute yard duty a day. That's the way our yard is supervised effectively. So because I've got so many staff, I'm allowed to give a trade-off. So if a teacher comes to me and says they want to do 2 Children's University activities in a week, then they are actually so-called duties. So the staff don't see it as anyone being favoured. Everyone still does and is on deck for 20 minutes a day every day, whether it's in the yard or whether it's doing a Children's University activity.
So would you say that the programme's embedded within school?
Definitely embedded within the school, yes.
Yeah, it's not yourself that...
No.
It's
No.
a school culture.
It's a school culture, and it's self-generating, and it's getting bigger.
Yeah. And we know as well, we're just going to talk about that now, your membership numbers here have grown. You're up to about 180.
182, I think, at the moment, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you manage those numbers of the students and what processes you put in place perhaps to assist with that?
Yes. Every Year 3 student that comes into the Year 3s, and we have 4 classes, so that's over 100 kids each year coming through, they are offered Children's University as an option.
Yeah.
And because it's so popular, I don't have to sell that very often. Kids will sign up with Children's University. The parents want them to be involved because they see the benefits as well. So in that way, they start in year 3 and they continue to work through the program right through to year 7, and then they go off to high school.
Yeah. And with your numbers, how do you cope with the sort of administrative tasks around that, about recording passport hours and things like that?
All of the teachers who take activities, they actually have a stamp,
Yeah.
and they're able to stamp off the activity time in the passports. And I collect the passports once a term, and I put all of the hours onto a spreadsheet. And I've actually had a couple of parents recently come up and say to me, would you like me to take over the spreadsheet operation? And I'm a little bit hesitant, but I probably will, if it gets any bigger, have them help me.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. So you've talked a lot about some of the advantages you see for the students here at Lake Windemere. Are there anything else you can think of that you would like to just flag up as things that you've noticed that are particularly advantageous about being a part of the programme?
Look, probably something that the kids look forward to apart from school-based activities are the holiday programs. The holiday programs are amazing. They take the kids out of their school environment into the, local community and extended community. They're opportunities that a lot of these kids don't have.
Yeah.
They absolutely don't have. So it's widening their world. It's giving them experiences that are just, fulfilling and wonderful.
And have you got any downsides that you can think of about the programme? Is there anything that you would see as issues or challenges to be overcome?
Probably the most important challenge is, if a school is going to take this on, you really need somebody who's not a classroom teacher to take it on. It could be an SSO, but it's worked well for me because I have the capacity to be able to oversee that and to manage it. Because when it gets as big as what it is at Lake Windemere, if you're a classroom teacher, it would be over.
Helen, could you just talk a little bit about how any impact you think that the programme might have had on behaviour here at school?
Yes, definitely. There's been a big positive impact on behaviour because often the things that are offered during lunch times involve lots of kids, and one of the things we've done here for Children's University is introduce Lake Windemere's Got Talent. So there's a talent show that operates, and it attracts a couple of hundred kids at specific lunch times throughout the year, and the number of kids in the yard reduces because of that and because of the other activities that are usually held inside. And that impact in the yard has been significant because behaviour incidences, little tiffs and arguments and things like that, they've dropped off. So that has been really positive.
Yeah.
And because we're a POS-Ed school, that fits in with our site development plan, because we want the kids to be respectful, we want them to be, showing perseverance, to have grit, and to have opportunities to be the best they can in everything. So it's had a massive impact on that.
Brilliant. Thank you for being such a great coordinator.
And thank you for coming every so often, Sally. We look forward to your visits, and you keep up the magnificent work that you do too.